This is not nice. An old bed sheet. It turns out there's not just like quite enough of fabric. I was getting nervous that it won't fit. I was a little bit surprised. Pretty near perfect. Hello everybody, what's my next project? Well, let me roll it in. So it is this huge ottoman / coffee table that I got from the thrift store for 23 euros and 40 cents. I'm gonna reupholster it. I first saw Joanna Gaines use this ottoman as a coffee table on Instagram. My first thought was that it's a bit odd, but something about it stuck with me. So when I saw this while thrifting, I wanted to get it. I instantly thought it could look like this, but with a fraction of the price, and I'm happy whenever I can avoid buying new. The brand is a good brand, and the fabric is actually attached with Velcro, so you can wash it. I'm just gonna take it off and pop it in the washing machine. This is not nice. Okay, now the cover is washed and fresh, and let's take it apart then. Okay, so there's 4 of these side panels, and I checked and they're all the same size and same length. So I'm gonna use this for my pattern. Then there's this circle. And if you look here, there's these little cuts, and they repeat every like 8 inches all the way around. And then when you look at the side panels, they too have the same little cuts. And these are important because these are going to make it so easy to assemble, because you just have to hit all these marks, so you don't have to go all the way around or even to half. If you just hit these marks, you know it's going to match in the end with the circle. So I'm going to go ahead and iron these well, and then we'll use them as the pattern. So when I got the ottoman, I also picked up this fabric from the same thrift store, and this is what I'm going to use to reupholster it, and there's just enough. This is the original fabric, and it has like 0 stretch. You know, it's upholstery fabric. I'm sure it's 100% polyester, and it's like tough and it's not supposed to stretch. But this is a knit, and so it has stretch, especially like diagonally. And that's a problem, because whenever there's stretch, the pattern should be smaller. But how much smaller, who knows? Without like testing it first, and I only have enough of this material for one, so no testing. Also, this fabric is like sort of see-through. If you put it on darker material, the dark shows, and the ottoman is black, like the lining thing is black, so we need to make this less see-through. I have this white material from a flea market. I've had this for quite a while, and I thought it was going to be enough for the backing or the interfacing, but there's not enough of this, and perhaps it's good, because I'm thinking of attaching this with this double-sided interfacing that I have, because I have a lot, like a whole roll, so it's best to use this. And with this material, yeah, it would be sturdy, but maybe it would be even too thick, because the teddy is already thick. So I might have to chop down an old bed sheet we don't really use anymore. So let's do some tests to see how the teddy material takes like ironing it, because it might not like it. So here's the thing, you have to apply a certain amount of pressure for the interfacing to really stick, and you can't like press this down completely, because I don't think it'll look nice after that. So let's see. Ideally you would wait even a day, even 24 hours, to see if this attached properly, but I don't have that much time, so I'm just going to wait a while and then gently tuck on it and see if it attached, because if it starts coming out at some point, then it's like no use. So the right way to cut the side panels would be this way, but it turns out there's not just like quite enough of fabric that way, so I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm just gonna make sure that the top edge is the same with every panel, because with these sort of fuzzy materials or any fur materials, fuzzy, anything fuzzy, like especially velvet, have like the pile or whatever you call it, the fuzz, the hair, goes to a certain direction, and you don't want, you might not be able to see it here, but once it's done, if the panels are not the same way, we would see that one of them has like the fuzz going downwards and one upwards, and you might not be able to tell, but something would look a little off. So I'm gonna mark them so I'm 100% sure that they are the exact same way. So I have the cover here, and I did try it on because I was getting nervous that it won't fit. The original cover that I used to make this one was like super tight when I took it off, and this is a thicker material, and now with the interfacing and everything, it's quite stiff, which is a good thing for upholstery. So, and to my surprise, it went on like really nicely. It wasn't even as tight as the first one. But one thing that I was a little bit surprised, maybe I should have not been, is that the height of the side panels is like not as much as in the original one. So if I were to finish it the same way, I would have like a smaller seam allowance here, which maybe is okay. But I have a roll of elastic band, and I think I'd like to try this instead of the Velcro. When I take it like this and stretch it, it stretches about twice the size or the length. So I measured half of the ottoman, and I've got that measurement here, and I'm gonna attach it under, and how I'm thinking of attaching it here is just going to be a top stitch, the edge of the elastic band. So I am going to do an overlock here just to make it tidier. Okay, so now it's like this big beret or mushroom cap, and what I'm hoping is that this will actually wrap around the bottom edge and it'll look really nice and clean, but I'm not sure if that'll work out, so let's go try. So this is how it looks from underneath, and it's does pretty much exactly what I was hoping. It wraps around really nicely and it looks really neat. If there was a little bit more wrap around, it would be better, but it's pretty near perfect and it looks really, really neat. The wonderful thing about this project is that the new cover was so easy and quick to make. I could make several different ones and change them whenever I want to update the look. And now for the finishing touches. I'm placing down this tray as a flat base. This beautiful book is about Cézanne and his art. This vintage marble chessboard I've used before and I love the colors. Whenever I can, I will add plants. This wooden trinket from the 70s was probably originally used for salt, and so the inside is covered with plastic, which makes it a perfect flower pot. This is a new addition and I found it at the same time as the Ottoman and it's just so gorgeous. It's a Finnish brand and from the 50s. Now everything is ready. I'm really happy with how this turned out. What do you think? Please let me know down in the comments.